morning. Good morning. And wow, thanks for making it up and figuring out what time it was and getting here on time. You did it. You did it. You made it through the daylight savings transition. You sprang forward. Congratulations. And welcome. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. We are a community of many beliefs joined together by our shared values and our desire to live our mission to inspire love, seek justice, and grow in community together. Each month, we also have a monthly ministry theme, and this month, the theme is trust. So we'll be exploring the many ways that trust gets established and where we place our trust. I am the Reverend Christina Church, and I welcome you. I have the pleasure and the privilege of serving you as your minister, and I am here with our many service leaders this morning. We had the wonderful Katie Greg Miller playing us in this morning. Thank you. I am here also with Colleen Taylor, our Director of Religious Education, Emily Hall, our Director of Music, and Randy Rahutsky, a member of our stewardship team, will be here as well. We have greeters. We have the Softs Chorus today. We have Danny Beal and Kailani Walker who are going to share with us today. We just have so much community. We're bursting at the seams with beautiful people and beautiful community today. So let's get started. We also have yellow and green cards. The green ones are if you're new and you'd like to know more about our community, and we can share with you what's going on. There's a lot. And yellow cards are for times when you have a particular joy or sorrow that you would like to share with the care team and or from the pulpit this morning. We are a live in-person bodily community, and we also have a virtual component as well of folks who are maybe sitting in their pajamas at home enjoying being with us via the magic of Zoom. So let's all say hello to, you can say hello and greet them through that camera on the side wall there. We've got a couple of announcements too. Today at 1 p.m. will be our second listening circle. So that's a restorative conversation with Reverend Elaine Strawn. Our new congregational life rep, Cassie Montenegro, will also be here to meet us and greet us. So you're welcome to join us for that conversation. We also have next week, it was postponed and rescheduled. We have on Saturday, March 15th, we have the Discover Your Gifts and Grow in Community workshop. Lots of opportunities to learn more about your own special gifts and unique styles. And we'll be serving soup and salad, and you must register by today if you need childcare for that event. So please take a look at that. And okay, you must register by today in all cases. End of day today. I'm hearing this just in. End of day today. All right. So with that, with the sound of our chime, let's enter into the sacred space of worship this morning and begin to sing together. Number 385.
Gloria, Gloria,
as we celebrate our beautiful community, our wonderful historic church, we have a very special chalice lighting this morning and call to worship. So I want to invite folks who are participating in that up to do the chalice lighting. And bear with us while we get settled here.
Across the generations, we have carried the flame. We fought the injustice, sang the songs, spoke for truth, and built something lasting. We join in the line and we carry the flame forward.
Across the generations, we are tending the flame. Hand in hand together, we share in the work of fighting injustice, singing the songs, speaking the truth. And here we are, to build something lasting. We join in the line and we carry the flame forward.
Is this one? Okay, that one's also on. Across the generations, we have been nourished by this flame. We are singing new songs, breaking old barriers, sharing in the work. And as we find our own space in what has been, we are here to make space for the next person as well.
Across the generations, this flame comes to us. We are here for the songs, for the justice, for the community sharing the work. We are here now, too, to build something new and lasting. We are ready for a new day together. We join in the line and we carry the flame forward.
Thanks to all the generations who participated in that. And now if you'll join in our opening hymn, it is number 354, We Laugh, We Cry. And we're going to sing verse 1 and verse 4, because it's a long one.
All right, as if you like embody your
Words are on your screen. Oh.
This story is slightly adapted from the words of a colleague named Christopher Buse. Harmony Raindrop, a drop with a dream. So, once upon a time, there was a small drop of water, and her name was Harmony. And Harmony, though, was not an ordinary drop of water. She was a drop that had a big dream. And Harmony lived in a valley where it hadn't rained in a really long time. And the flowers were wilting, and the trees were starting to droop, and the grass was browning. And so one day, Harmony traveled to tell others about her dream, because her dream was of a beautiful place with running water, a valley with flowers, something growing and alive. But what could she do? She was just one drop of water. So she starts on her travels so she can tell other people about the dream and her vision. And all the other drops, they listened politely. They gave her a few minutes of their time, but nobody really believed her dream could come true. It was too big of a job. Harmony, said one, get your head out of the clouds. You can't spend your life dreaming. How many of you have heard that? Harmony decided that she could do something to make her dream come true, though, and so she began to think and think and think. And one day, she was walking by this rusty old bucket, and she got an idea. You know what? If enough drops get together in this bucket, there would be enough water to sprinkle for a few flowers to help them grow and become beautiful again. If enough of us get together, we can make this happen. So eagerly, Harmony gets really excited and goes to tell everybody about her great idea, but everyone thought she was being kind of foolish. That Harmony, she's nothing but a dreamer, said the other drops. So Harmony decided to do something to convince the others that she was right. So she said to them, you know what? I don't know about you, but I'm going to go into that bucket. And I hope some of you will join me and that there might be enough water to make a few flowers, to make things beautiful again. And so Harmony ran as fast as she could, and she hopped all the way up into the air, and she landed kerplunk in the bottom of the bucket. And there she sat, just a drop in the bucket. For a long time, Harmony was very lonely. And it seemed like no one else was going to join her. But after a while, some of the other drops began to see that the grass was dying even more, the flowers wilting and not returning, and the trees were still drooping even further. And they all agreed, you know what, that we got to do something. So suddenly, one drop shouted,
I'll join you in the bucket.
oh my gosh! And she leapt through the air and landed kerplunk in the bucket. And soon, others started to yell, wait for us! And they hopped through the air and into the bucket. And then more buckets and more drops. And then they filled the bucket, so they needed to get another bucket. And there were 2 buckets of water, then 3, then 4, then 10. And then thousands of buckets of water formed. And along came a very powerful breeze and knocked all of the buckets over. And the water flowed together to make a mighty stream. And everywhere the water flowed, the grass turned green, and the flowers started to bloom, and the trees started to stand tall again and straight once more, and gardens grew. And all of this happened because Harmony had a dream, and her dream came true. And because she knew that although she was just one drop in the bucket, each drop coming together can make enough drops that the buckets will overflow and justice will roll down like a mighty stream. The end.
Well, thank you, Colleen Taylor, and all the raindrops. that participated in that great story. This is a community that holds one another in care and compassion. And each week, we take some time to share what is on our hearts. Just like that. We're going to take a moment of silence now to center into what it is we're bringing with us today. I invite you into the silence now. Among the concerns, losses, and sorrows shared with the community today, Heidi Schaefer-Bisch shares that due to federal funding uncertainties, her job has been restructured and will now involve a long commute. I'm sorry, Heidi. Yes. And Heather Pritchard shares a deep sorrow that Diane Krause, longtime member of the Mid-Atlantic UU community and UMAC, lost her life to cancer. She'll be remembered with love. Our hearts are with her family and all those who grieve her loss. At this time, we'll also light a candle of sorrow and of solidarity for all those whose lives, livelihoods, peace of mind, and safety of body are being threatened or actively harmed by those who occupy the seats of power. As Emily lights the candle, I invite you to say into the space the names of all those who are on your heart today as a result of the actions of those in power. May all of us join together to end this suffering and find a way to tend to the pain. We also have sorrow shared on Zoom that Donna shares that she's remembering Kent police officer Matt Butcher, who was lost 1 year ago. Please join me now in the spirit of prayer. Spirit of life, we are so grateful to be here together today to celebrate the ways that each generation of this church has carried the flame of community and justice. On this weekend in which we celebrate International Women's Day, we're grateful for all the strong women, strong leaders who have made this church what it has been and what it will continue to be across the generations. And we ask your help in making this world a more just and equitable place for all, in which each being, no matter what their gender, is safe, loved, and has a community of belonging. May it be so, and may we help to make it so. Amen. And we always end with the joys and the wonder and the awe expressed by folks in our community. And we have some lovely expressions from this morning that some of the folks have shared. Stella shared this morning that she came home from a state meet and she got 4th place 2 times in the whole state. That is so amazing, Stella. Congratulations. Caleb shares that he went to Columbus for swim, the state Special Olympics, and he won gold. Congratulations, Caleb. And we would like to share with you that Lo is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. So this is Lo's birthday eve. Happy birthday eve, Lo. And finally, Kurt Beiling shares how wonderful it is to be back at church, and also that daylight savings has begun because it gives more day to cherish. What a wonderful way to think of it. I will try and think of it that way too, Kurt. So for all of these joys, all of these sorrows, and also one that's breaking on Zoom, a joy from Wendy. Wendy would like to share the joy that it was to be under the sea with many of our UU Kent middle schoolers last night at the performance of Little Mermaid Jr. That was wonderful, and we congratulate all those performers. Thank you. So for all of these amazing youth that we have, for all of the joys and all of the sorrows that have been expressed today, we are here to witness, we are here to accompany you, and we are here to provide care and comfort on all of life's journeys as we travel this road together. Our reading this morning is a passage from Dorothy Day, who was, of course, an activist. People say, "What is the sense of our small effort?" They cannot see that we must lay one brick at a time, take one step at a time. A pebble cast into a pond causes ripples that spread in all directions. Each one of our thoughts, words, and deeds is like that. No one has a right to sit down and feel helpless. There is too much work to do. So I want to introduce, this is the kickoff of our stewardship campaign with the theme of glorious, because we all feel that this is a glorious community, a glorious church, and we look forward to even having the resources to make it more so and live into our dreams for this place and this community. If you don't know the word stewardship, it's one that we tend to use without really defining it, and you know, sometimes it can be a little jargony. I didn't know what it meant when I was, when I first came to Unitarian Universalism as an unchurched person. But stewardship is taking care of something that isn't totally owned by you, right? So it may be a community resource, and it usually is across generations, right? It's a way that we care for an important resource that perhaps has come to us down through the generations from our ancestors, and that we hope will last to serve those who come after us. So also, it's important to know that our church is largely and almost entirely funded by our members. Unlike some denominations, we don't receive large sums of money from the central office. In fact, we pay money to the central office to keep it going because it's an association of congregations. So we are a member of that, and as members, we have a responsibility to keep it running. Decisions here are made collectively and transparently. So, our decisions about money are available to you, and so you can understand. And then if you're a member, you can vote on the decisions that we make. Good stewardship by our spiritual ancestors is what got us here to this place, and we want to continue with that. Now, you may be wondering, why are we talking about money in the middle of a worship service? Well, let's remember on this International Women's Weekend that the feminist movement, one of the things it taught us is that the personal is political. And the women's movement exploded that false dichotomy between material things and spiritual things. We know that the way we choose to spend our money and the way we choose to steward our resources is spiritual, and it speaks to our values, and it shows our values in the world. So this is an entirely spiritual subject, and it's an entirely appropriate subject for us as members of this beloved community. So I'm going to invite Randy Rohutsky up here to tell us more about Glorious.
Well, thank you, Reverend Christina, for remembering to say everything that I forgot. Hi, I'm Randy Rohutsky. I serve on the Stewardship Campaign Committee along with Kate Garner, Kat Holtz, and Sandy Eaglin. Today is the kickoff of our annual campaign to fund the running of our church. Since we are totally self-sustaining, it's up to our members and friends to keep the doors open, the repairs repaired, the bills paid, the staff compensated. This campaign yields about 75% of the income for this church. It's the foundation upon which we build this community. Here is some of what we offer and why I believe we are thriving. We change people's lives. Many of you can relate to this. In the upcoming services, you'll have a chance to hear from some congregants whose lives have been changed by us. But I have a couple of items that I'd like to share today. Last week, I witnessed a lively first service with parents and children attending together, finding community. From my time as a single parent, I know that having a community of other parents is life-changing. Colleen Taylor, the director of the religious education for our youth, offers both a Parents of Young UUs group and a monthly dinner church called Soulful Home. These programs bring together parents into a community with each other and with us. Our youth have had life-changing experiences on their yearly service trips. When they return, they offer a worship service where they tell what the trip meant to them, the impact it had on their lives, and on the lives of the people that they helped. Most often, these services cause tears to well up in my eyes, and my heart bursts with pride. At the end of the service, we'll be playing a video where Dave Smeltzer has captured a few similar stories and their impacts. If you can't stay, it will be on our website and on Facebook. We are also thriving because we have a great staff. At the most recent town hall, a chance for the congregants to interact directly with the Board of Trustees, Kate and I gave a brief presentation that shined the spotlight on this staff. You can find the video on the church website. Before the pandemic, we were able to compensate them fairly, and one of the top goals is to do so again. Much of the credit for our newfound momentum is tied directly to our staff and to our new minister. Reverend Christina has been a godsend. marrying the qualities of strong and gentle ministerial presence with dynamic worship services. 2 years ago, we decided to reduce our staffing temporarily to help conserve our financial resources after the pandemic disruption. Now the energy in our community has returned, and we're feeling the urgent need to return to full-time ministry. Allow me to answer a few common questions. Who gives? Giving is a requirement of voting members, but we have many friends who also support us. How much do people pledge? Well, here's a slide that shows each of the meeples up there represents one pledge unit, either an individual or a family. From my conversations, people give to the level that makes them feel good. How do you pledge? If you haven't already, please pick up your pledge packet. We'll have a table downstairs in Fessenden Hall after this service. Walk down the steps, take a left if you're not familiar with the word Fessenden Hall. If you have not pledged before, we do have blank pledge packets available as well. Please fill out the enclosed pledge card and return it to us, either in the mail or the offering basket, and it'll go directly to our administrator. We also have an option where you can fill this out online, and that will go also directly to our administrator. All pledges are confidential. When do you pledge? We need everyone who is pledging to do so, please, by March 31st, so that we can budget for the next fiscal year. I've been granted the privilege to help on this ask for money. To me, this might be the simplest ask ever. Please make a generous pledge in the next few weeks so we can continue to thrive. We're a strong congregation. We need us. The community needs us and is finding us. We are impacting the lives of those who join us. Please give what feels good. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. You know, this church has always had strong women, and as I've heard the stories of the history of the church since 1868, it's been really obvious that the women have so often been the ones to come together and really save the church at times during its history. And this morning, during our 9:15 service, two amazing speakers from different generations of this church spoke so movingly about what has transformed their lives and what this church means to them that I realized my boring old dry as dust homily about the women's movement cannot hold a candle to these two amazing speakers. So I asked them to speak today. And the first one is Danny Beal. Thank you so much, Danny.
Good morning. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. I shared recently with a friend I met in this room how I am struggling with sadness and despair, and they sent me these words by Mary Oliver. The familiar words were a balm. This room, our sanctuary, has been a constant in my life for over 20 years. I tell people it's the room where I cry, and that is true. Crying does not come easily to me, and this room, more than any other in my life, can help me feel what I need to feel to release it into the world, safely and held in loving community. I began attending Kent UU with my partner Bobby and our son Jesse, who's now 27. I know. A little overwhelming for those of you who knew him at this height. Let me see. It was the Hogwarts program that first drew us in. At that point, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, had not made being anti-transgender her only mission in the world, and Jessie was the perfect age to become a young wizard. I learned more about UUism, the principles and history of both Unitarian and Universalism, and fell in love with a religion that was on the front lines of social justice. We are not creedal and do not demand that all of our people believe exactly the same things about God and our universe. This was attractive to me, a mostly atheist. We acknowledge that there are many pathways to find salvation and grace, and that our work is not about doing good deeds here to get into heaven, but to co-create heaven right here on earth in our community every day. I was very unchurched in my youth and longed for community and belonging with other people who were passionate about civil rights in the way that I was. My family of origin is one of activists, and I was raised with that mindset. Being a queer family, Bobby and I knew that any community we joined would have to be completely welcoming and inclusive, as we were unwilling to have Jesse see any shame about our family. It's funny how having kids can change that dynamic. I'm willing to tolerate a lot more bigotry aimed at me than I will ever allow for my kids. I have learned that my spiritual base is collective liberation, the concept that all of our liberties and freedoms are entwined. It comes from Christian liberation theology, that no one is free until all of us are free. It is the interconnectedness of life and this common struggle that draws me here. I depend on my UU community and my religion to fight for social justice, for mine and yours, and for many whose identities are not represented in this room. Because we believe in the inherent value in our siblings on earth and we trust their experiences. And within this sanctuary, the one that glows all yellow lovely sometimes, I come also to despair when we do not win. And good Lord, we've had many losses. I remember the hugs I shared over 8 years ago when Trump first won, falling apart in the last row of pews and feeling the grief and dread of what was to come. In this room many years ago, I grieved losses during my fertility struggle, a shared experience with so many of you. And I also wept tears of pure joy when our baby was dedicated to our family right there. I remember when the first Defense of Marriage Act was passed in Ohio and we gathered here in sadness. And with joy, I remember when Bobby and I were legally wed here on the chancel years later. This room has held my life and my heart. It is a vessel of sanctuary that you and I and all of our community have co-created. This did not happen on accident, and it has not always been easy. Living in community is tough work if you're doing it right. And as they say, the benefits of this give and take are greater than the sum of its parts. For me, it is in this room, it holds my heartache and my joy. I hope you all hang in with this community as we band together and protest for collective liberation. And I also hope that you find solace here when you despair the broken world. For this room and this community can hold it all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Danny. Now I want to invite Kailani Walker up to share her reflection.
It's a little tall. I am so grateful to be a UU. The church gives me a safe place to be myself and talk to other people who had similar experiences. As an Asian American girl, I sometimes feel like no one can relate to my stories, although the church provides a space for me to share without being judged. Especially with the election results, it is hard to find a community of people as welcoming as this church. The church puts a lot of effort into supporting and empowering women and minority groups. One of my favorite parts about helping at the church is getting to empower people and give them a voice. For me, an important part of feminism. Another thing I love about the church is the opportunity to be myself and support causes that are important to me. I've participated in pride events with my peers. I've attended protests with my dad and mom. And in RE, there's a common goal of helping people. We all strive to make the world a better place. The RE program helped me learn a lot about other cultures or customs as well. It was interesting to learn about different religions, and not only that, but travel and interact with the people who practice those religions. Being an Asian American youth in the RE program is a rewarding experience. I can serve the community in a space where people will appreciate my differences rather than put me down. Because the community celebrates diversity, I have met people that have had similar experiences to my own. I was internationally adopted from China, and in my schools, I was always the only one who was adopted from Asia. However, my parents were able to connect with families through the church who also internationally adopted their daughters. The church fosters a community of people for whom I have the opportunity to learn. I can share my experiences as a young woman and hear other people's stories as well. As at the UUCK, I am never told that I can't do something. I am always uplifted and encouraged to achieve my dreams. The community is supportive in all that I do, even when it's 15 different activities. The church is amazing at encouraging the youth, and it gives me a supportive community to fall back on when I need that support. In conclusion, RE fosters an amazing environment to learn and support feminism. Being an Asian American teen can sometimes make me feel like I am isolated from my peers. However, when I'm at the church, I never feel that way. Especially in RE, I enjoy helping people and giving back to communities and causes that support or stand with feminism. Feminism is not just supporting women, but giving all people a chance to feel heard. The amazing and supportive community at the UUCK has helped me speak up for the LGBTQ community, immigrant families, abortion access, anti-racism initiatives, and so much more. I truly love my home at the UUCK.
Thank you, Kailani. I think now you understand why I asked them to speak, right? Amazing, amazing. So we invite you into a time of generosity when we share our gifts with this community. We have ways that you can give to the church. You'll see the ways on your screen. And we also have a special collection to help an organization that is doing work outside of our walls. This month's special collection is Flashes Fighting Hunger, which is a local organization based on the campus of KSU that works to reduce food waste and fight food insecurity. So we hope you'll be generous with them as well. Thank you for all that you share with the community. You are a generous people. And we have, Emily, would you like to introduce okay.
So the piece that we're going to share up here is from a musical called Suffs. It's about suffragettes. And at this point in the show, there's been some loss and some tragedy and some rifts within the movement. And this is the movement coming back together to kind of reevaluate and to gather their grief and their rage to move forward into the world again. So this features a lot of our singers, so I'm really excited to share this with you.
She was patient, magnetic, unapologetic. It was almost annoying how easily she seemed to shine. You could hide nothing from her. She read you like a book. She'd have been wrecked by the results of the election, but she'd pour us a drink and reminded us not to lose hope. She knew her smile was all that it took. The last thing she said is a question we're now asking over and over as we look back, as we look forward.
big thank you to the Suffs Chorus. Wow, we won't wait another day. I'm full of vim and vigor now. And now it is time to extinguish our chalice. Will you please say the words of the chalice extinguishing along with me? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And our closing hymn will be 131, Love Will Guide Us. The words will be on your screen, so please join us. It's a kind of a rousing one, so you might want to stand up and move your body. And remember, we're going to show the stewardship video, Glorious, right after this. So please stick around for that. You'll want to see it. There's more wonderful inspiration there. Now, after the video, go in hope. For the arc of the universe is long, and we can bend it toward justice. Go in courage, for together we have the strength to confront injustice in our daily lives and in the larger world. Go in love, because a holy and generous love is both the reason and the means by which we transform our lives, and we will make them glorious.
There are times when you might feel aimless, can't see the places where you belong,
But you will find that there is a purpose. It's been there within you all along.
This is early 70s, and there was a preschool in the basement, so I took my daughter there, and looking around, and so many of the women were members of the church. So I wandered upstairs and I started looking around and reading some literature, and I thought, I should go here. And I did. And everybody was so welcoming.
My mom was looking around for a new church, and she came back to me and said, I think I found a church that you might like. And I was an atheist at the time, so I joked, am I gonna melt on the doorsteps? She said, I really think you'll like it. People are wearing jeans there. So I tried it out. I wore some jeans, I wore a tweed hat, I wore a paint splattered tie, showed up at church. I was complimented on my outfit, and I felt very welcomed.
I first came to UU Kent because I wanted to try something that was a smaller church where I really knew everybody, where I could be really active in the church community.
What I like about the church is that we get to perform in pageants, and it's really fun to get this role and practice and then perform it up in front of a crowd. That's really great. Sometimes I get to play with my friends after service, which is really fun.
And that's one of my favorite things about this church, is getting to know new people and getting different perspectives from those new people and just enjoying their company, which is the reason I have continued to attend the UU Church of Kent. Is, I just enjoy the people here.
I think this first service, I saw Hal Walker there, and he ran up and said, "Can you play music in the service next week?" I don't really do church music, but I agreed, and it was really well received. Since then, so much about the music at the church has been really meaningful to me, and we've had some wonderful leaders in our music community. So that's a big part of why I enjoy this church.
When you're near it, you can almost hear it. It's like a symphony, just keep listening, and pretty soon you'll start to figure out your part. Everyone plays a piece, and there are melodies in each one of us. Oh, it's glorious.
When I'm in service and we sit there in our moment of silence, I just kind of ground down and I can sit and feel all the people around me. And then, in an odd way, I can feel 160 years of people sitting in that sanctuary doing the same thing. The sanctuary is filled in silence, and I can just feel the history of this place. And that's a wonderful feeling.
Naomi Klein's book got us involved with climate change, and I'd led a panel discussion in the church on climate change with Andrew Rome and Joe Ortiz from the university and a couple of others, and then it led to this last couple years with solarizing Hobbs Hall.
I've been coming here all my life, because my parents were coming here before I was born. I've been involved in all sorts of aspects of the church, such as I frequently perform hymns. Some of my favorite things might be, coffee hour snacks. And I also like seeing my friends here. It's a lot of fun.
I think for me, it's mostly like connecting with people, and especially during the community meals, I like connecting with the people that we work with, and that kind of just really brings a sense of fulfillment with the values that our church has.
I help out in the nursery, I've taught Sunday school, things like that, and those have been really enjoyable for me. But I think the biggest part of what I love about this church is just the sense of community here, the way people take care of each other and support each other in every way. One of the ways that was most meaningful for me was when our oldest son, Paul, passed away at birth. We received a level of love and support that was just mind-blowing. It made an enormous difference in our lives.
This church has been my source of friendship and community and support for my daughter, who is now a young adult, but she grew up in this church. It has been a means of working with others to make the world better starting on a local level. My best friends are here. My support is here. It's been the center of my life.
And you will know how to let it ring out as you discover who you are.
is like a symphony because like we're all working together in a way. And all support each other.
Well, I think everyone in this church is very unique and different, but we all have the same values. And it's like when you're playing in an orchestra, everyone plays a different part, but you're all making the same goal, and all of our goals are combined. And so we kind of just have like one purpose all together, even though we're all diverse.
It was a good social camaraderie here. You get to know the people. You appreciate people who are different, who have other perspectives. It was a true community.
It's diverse, like a symphony with the strings and woodwinds and percussion, etc. Very diverse.
When you go to a church, you find your role in the symphony because you find the part that it needs you the most.
So, my part in the symphony is becoming smaller as I get older, but there's always room for somebody to play their part.
Just the people are so wonderful here. And in between service auction events and potlucks and cleaning parties and gardening parties and just working with people to keep this community alive and thriving means a great deal to me. This church community is like my family.
It's so amazing.